Hello, Gemini. My name is Victoria Martin. I am going to walk you through February 2016. This is going to count for Gemini sun sign. For those of you with Gemini ascending sign, you should watch both your sun sign and your ascending sign to get a full sense of any forecast. Okay, now, the mood for everybody in February is both manic and dreamy. All right, you'll see what I mean when it happens. In your case, February emphasizes education, religion, philosophy. You want to do something to instill a greater sense of wonder and maybe get in some kind of global attunement mode. Could be far out. Now that's the first half. The second half is going to emphasize more your life's purpose, ambitions, and goals. And at this point, you want to be paying attention to subtle clues and train your ESP. Avoid toxins and shun illusions. Easy for me to say, right? Okay, so that's my overall broad view of February. Now, here's what we're going to cover specifically. February 6th through 10th is the new moon. That's the waking up, kind of from the long winter's nap. Then February 20th through 24th is the full moon. That's dreamy and manic. And then February 25th to March 2nd, Sun conjunct Neptune. Interesting stories. You can read into that whatever you want. All right, so the new moon is a special new moon because it's the beginning of the Chinese New Year, and it's the fire monkey. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Chinese astrology, so I consulted my colleague, Pun Yin, who is a very highly esteemed feng shui master, and she advised me to tell you that large crowds could cause nervous overload. Focus instead on building strong bonds, boost your immune system, retreat into the tranquility and beauty of natural settings, or take a train ride. Curb needless social activity, avoid rushing, technical pollution, and disturbances. So anyway, look at that fire monkey. He's a pretty outrageous looking guy. So instead, look at that nice green scene. Okay, I just said that because a train's going by. Maybe a train is not a good idea. Check out her website, punyin.com, for more ideas. Okay, on to the regular new moon in astrology, which, as I mentioned, is in your 9th house, education, religion, philosophy, sense of wonder. New moons are always open and receptive, expectant and tactical, helpful, wishful. Now, I am showing you a star map from an astronomy here program. Here's the sun and moon conjunct, this very interesting overlay between the tail of the sea goat and the shoulder of Aquarius. Very interesting spot in the zodiac. So I'm going to piece together some of the qualities of these two stars as I think really would fit in education, religion, travel. Okay, so I think the symbols, using symbols to create drama really fits, certainly for education and possibly for some kind of sense of wonder. The idea of catalyst and polarization is interesting. I mean, how do you catalyze learning or, an adventurous experience? And polarization means drama. So drama is often, vivid, and it's an amazing experience. Let's look at the next star here in Aquarius. So in terms of education, religion, travel. Well, certainly appropriate challenges. Now, I'm using the definition of happiness from the book Flow by Csikszentmihalyi, and his whole deal is the people who are happy are the people who create appropriate challenges, something that they can attain, and they have a great sense of well-being. And this normally just represent any kind of groups here, but I changed it to small groups in honor of the Chinese New Year of the monkey. Might be a little too jumpy, so maybe smaller groups, more intimate. Hobbies and sports, those might be things that advance your education or maybe give a special purpose to your travel. Okay, the full moon is interesting, and that's resulting from the new moon. The new moon are planning periods, and the full moon are revelation and harvesting. And the full moon always emphasizes teamwork, extra drama, revelations. They're very social. Now, in this case, the full moon is focused on your 4th house, so the basis for happiness and or your family home, managing things, dealing with real estate. So something really good would be a good time to have a party, good time to do something special with your family. There may be a celebration, maybe some good news, because this full moon is fairly close to Jupiter. It's really just, it's 15 degrees off, but that's still pretty close for a full moon. So I'm thinking there's going to be some luck here. But meanwhile, the Sun is conjunct Neptune in your 10th house. So you're examining some of your life's purpose and goals regarding glamour, sensitivity, the elements of spirituality and mysticism, possibly eliminating illusions, trickery, toxins, and chaos, because this is all going to come to play. These are the interesting stories I mentioned earlier. So that's February 20th through 24th. So just to summarize, this full moon is wild. There's a lot going on, and it's really, and this is going to be particularly the 20th through the 24th. And the full moon, we're looking here at full moon is, even though it's in tropical Virgo, it's actually very close to the heart of the lion. And it's also Zosma, the goddess riding in the back of the lion. And then we look in here to sextans, the compass. So these are going to influence our interpretation of this full moon, these particular stars. So the heart of the lion it's actually called a royal star. And this means that there's a sense of royalty about your family or your home. And I think that's always good to play up the positive thing, but also to work on the hearts of the others, those in your home and your family. And the whole idea of happiness related to the heart, I mean, that kind of makes sense. And the sense of direction here, maybe a guiding, maybe the purpose of happiness here or your family is that you're guiding each other's souls through turbulent times. And we are living in somewhat turbulent times. And also the idea of observing members of your family and things around the house, and maybe the idea of advocate for left behinds if you feel someone in the family is left out, that you want to help them. So the idea here is this full moon with the Sun conjunct Neptune, that whole time frame here is the most mystical and potentially confusing time of year. So you could encompass this whole thing of February 20th through March 2nd. So that's quite a lot of time. That's, that's about 10 days. That should be really interesting. And so the idea is that you're balancing, full moon's always a balance in this case, that there's a lot of this climactic things regarding your family and home, but then there's this lure, this mystique of this career that's potential for glamour and mysticism. So there's a balance between the two. Should be interesting. So the new moon is February 6th through 10th. That's the waking up and the beginning of the Chinese New Year. That should be kind of wild. Then the full moon, February 20th through 24th, is dreamy, but also manic. And then the February 25th through March 2nd, the interesting stories. Take note. So then that gets us right into, we don't have a moment to rest hardly before we get caught up in this solar eclipse, March 8th. The time window is going to be a little earlier, and maybe March 4th. So we're going to start to feel that, and this is the game of musical chairs in terms of global opinion shifts on topics of religion, patronage, and healing. And this is affecting your life's purpose, ambitions, and goals. So you might say, well, hey, maybe this project will work, but let's say this project, and it's all this changing. Who's going to pair up? Who's going to link with you? Who's going to work with you? This will be what you're, imagining before the solar eclipse. After the solar eclipse, you might have a better idea. So like after March 10th. Okay, then the 11th house is going to be emphasized in the second half of March. And this is because the sun goes into your 11th house, benefactors, patrons, and friends. So lunar eclipses are a little tricky, more for women than for men. But my advice is be ready for anything, keep the faith, use science, and troubleshoot. And that should improve your relationships with benefactors, patrons, and friends. Even though the lunar eclipse would actually be in your 5th house, so that there's this process of elimination dealing with your talent. So tune in next month for March. But for now, wishing you an excellent month. Interesting stories, right? Thanks for watching. My name is Victoria Martin.
Bu akşam seminerimizi canlı olarak mobil uygulamamız üzerinden yapıyoruz.